Welcome to Grief in Motherhood, the podcast where we explore the profound journey of navigating motherhood after loss. I'm your host, Kaitlin, and I'm honored to be your guide on this grief journey. Whether it's the loss of dreams, the challenges of fertility, the pain of miscarriage, or navigating the uncharted territory of parenting a child with unique needs, grief can take many forms in the realm of motherhood. We'll be joined by incredible women who have generously agreed to share their stories, offering a glimpse into their personal experiences with grief and how it has shaped their journey as mothers. Through raw and authentic conversations, I'm aiming to create a space where mothers can find solace, understanding, and a sense of community. Because in the midst of grief, it's crucial to know that you're not alone. Join me on this heartfelt exploration of grief in motherhood, because sometimes it's in embracing our vulnerabilities that we discover the strength to carry on. This is Grief in Motherhood. Hello, and welcome back to Grief in Motherhood, a space where we navigate the complexities of grief in motherhood together. I'm your host, Kaitlin, and I'm so grateful you're here. Today we're talking about something that can feel almost impossible in the midst of loss, and that is self-care. When you're grieving, especially as a mother, the idea of taking care of yourself can feel selfish, overwhelming, or even pointless. But the truth is, you deserve care too. You need it. And today we're going to talk about how to make that possible. We'll explore healthy coping mechanisms, self-care tips tailored for grieving mothers, and how to balance caring for yourself while still being there for your family. But before we dive in, I want to take a moment to acknowledge my own journey with loss, because I know that so many of you listening are walking a similar path. My husband Jordan and I have experienced 3 pregnancy losses, and each one has left a different kind of ache in our hearts. But losing our daughter Lainey at 37 weeks was definitely something that I could have never prepared for. I carried her for 9 months, felt her kicks, I dreamed of her arrival, we prepared our home for her, and then in an instant, our world was shattered. And grief after loss, especially a full-term loss, it just feels impossible to navigate. There's no guidebook on how to wake up every morning and mother the children in front of you while grieving the one who isn't. No one tells you how to find yourself again when the version of you that existed before is gone. I will tell you that the mother I was before I lost Lainey no longer exists. And for a long time, I really didn't know how to take care of myself. In fact, I didn't even want to. But I learned, slowly and painfully, that taking care of myself wasn't just about forgetting Lainey. It was about surviving for her, for my boys, my husband, and especially myself. It was also about honoring her by continuing to live, even when it felt unfair that she couldn't. So if you're in that place where getting through the day feels impossible, I really truly want you to know that I see you, and I want to share some things that helped me find moments of peace in the storm. I'd love to hear what's helped you, even if you have something that I didn't mention or something that I did. If you have a coping mechanism that's been healing for you, send me a message or, share with another mom that really needs that today. Let's talk about self-care. And I want to be clear, self-care isn't just about bubble baths and spa days, although those can also be nice. It's about the small, essential things that keep you going. And here are just a few self-care practices that I would recommend. The first thing, eating enough and staying hydrated. I know this may sound silly, but after we lost Lainey, I found myself skipping meals. Not even realizing that because I wasn't trying to neglect my body, but it really took effort to remind myself to eat, to drink water, to just take care of myself. Try keeping snacks nearby or just setting reminders to drink water. Creating a daily ritual. So, lighting a candle is something that we do. It's a small act, but it grounds me. Maybe for you, it's a morning coffee, just in silence, reading a page from your devotional, or even just stepping outside to breathe some fresh air. Small rituals every day provide those comforts, and it's just a way of providing stability. Saying no when you need to. I remember feeling pressure to show up for things I wasn't emotionally ready for. And trust me, you don't have to force yourself into those spaces that drain you. Protect your energy. Say no if you need to. Finding moments of joy. This one is my favorite. It took me a long time to allow myself to really laugh again, but I want you to know that grief and joy can coexist. Funny little story. My boys and I, we would call them glimmers of joy. So after we lost Lainey, we all grieved together, but we really tried to find just something small in each day that made us smile, made us, happy, just feel that joy. And we called them our glimmers of joy. One of the hardest parts of grieving as a mother is the constant pull between your own pain and the needs of your family. So you're still showing up for your children even while you're carrying so much inside. So, how do you balance self care with the demands of motherhood? Let go of guilt because your healing matters. Your children need a mother who is cared for, even if that means resting when you need to. Involve your kids in your healing. My boys, we still talk about Lainey. We include her in conversations, in our family traditions. Your baby is part of your story, and it's okay to bring their memory into your everyday life. Lean on your village, whether it's a partner, a friend, or even an online support group. You don't have to do it alone. Ask for help when you need it. And recognize the strength in slowing down. It's okay to live simply. After Lainey, I had to completely reset my expectations of what a normal life looked like for us. And it's okay. It's okay to adjust expectations and just take life one step at a time. As I wrap up today's episode, I just want to remind you that you are not alone. Grief is heavy, but you don't have to carry it without support. I hope today's conversation gave you permission to care for yourself in ways that you need to, not just the ways you feel you should. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with another mom who might need it. And if you're looking for more support, come join our community. I started a Grief and Motherhood Facebook support group. You can find us there. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'd love to stay connected. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube, where I'm sharing my grief journey and healing for other moms.
That's all for today's episode of Grief and Motherhood. I am also providing links in the show notes of different resources. If you'd like to share your thoughts or experiences related to this topic, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Until then, I'm sending light and love to each and every one of you.